Basement of La Penta. This is WICR.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Sports Vault. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe Archino, and I could not be more excited to be on the air. I mean, look, it's like Christmas right now. The NBA Finals, we got gift wrapped, just an unimaginable, incredible gift right underneath the tree on Christmas Day. Cavaliers Warriors. I really think this is going to be an incredible NBA Finals. Both teams star-studded. Stephen Curry, the MVP, going up against the guy who's been the MVP so many times before, LeBron James. Really, there are storylines. There is unimaginable excitement for this NBA Finals, and I cannot wait. I think when you look at it, though, you've got to start with the Cavaliers because in the 4 years before LeBron James came, they were 97 and 215. Now, I don't think I need to tell a lot of people that's not a very good record, and clearly it just shows you the impact he has upon his return and upon his exit. Upon his exit, they're the Washington Generals. Upon his return, well, I think you see they're back in the NBA Finals in the first year. And to me, that's the most impressive thing out of everything, and it's truly one of the most impressive things in NBA history to me, is because it doesn't matter if it's in the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, the MLB. Changing a losing culture is extraordinarily difficult to do, and that's something that LeBron has done not once, but twice. He did it the first time he came back to Cleveland when he was drafted by them, and of course upon his return. They're bottom feeders. They're the Washington Generals. He comes back in the blink of an eye. They're in the NBA Finals. And I think he was smart, and he's been smart about this the whole time. In his letter in the summer, last summer, he said, look, I know it's going to take time. People have to be patient. We're not going to be championship winners. We're not going to be in the finals tomorrow night. It's going to take time. Well, clearly, he is back in the NBA Finals. And look, did he even LeBron expect to be here at this point? I think based on the way the season started, he was correct. It was going to take time. But I think the team, the way that they have gelled and they have built their identity has exceeded his expectations. I really feel like, and again, I said it, I've been on all over social media, and I've been saying it all year, January 15th is the day everything changed. On January 15th, when they defeated the Los Angeles Lakers, it's a couple days once they have Shumpert and JR starting to get back in adjusting. And remember, LeBron was out for like a two-week span around that time. They beat the Lakers on January 15th, and they go on a 12-game winning streak. Now, then they lose a game that Friday to Indiana, and they bounce right back with a win against, I think it's either Golden State or the Thunder. They just built their identity during that 12-game stretch. Now, I said on the air many times, there's no going back from this. You've shown what you can do on both sides of the ball. This is the way you should have been playing all along. You can't backtrack from here, and they did not. They absolutely steamrolled ahead, and they showed, without a doubt in my mind, they were the best team in the Eastern Conference. There wasn't any doubt about it. Atlanta, look, you knew what they were all year. They're the Arizona Cardinals of the NBA. They're good, not great. They don't have star power. Star power wins, and obviously a 4-0 sweep of the Hawks. Couldn't have said that any better without Kyrie Irving. And there's going to be so much time to get into the NBA Finals, but right now it's a little bit of time to look back at everything for Cleveland. And I do think, kind of just going ahead a little bit, Kyrie is the key to the NBA Finals. But still, I mean, I think when you look at everything, that the way it's all shaped out for Cleveland, getting to the NBA Finals, with, like I said, they were 97 and 215 in the 4 years LeBron was gone. He's back. They're back in the NBA Finals 1 year. And to me, that is the most remarkable, one of the most remarkable achievements and testaments to his greatness of all, just because he changed that culture of losing. He got guys who had never played both ends of the floor to buy in and play his way. Now, it's what the great ones do. They have that ability to really rally you unlike anyone. And I know at the end of the day, and the conversation is always going to come back up now that it's NBA Finals time. We've got a week off before they actually start, so people will be bored. People will want to create storylines. And, of course, it's going to come back, Michael and LeBron. And, obviously, they could not be more different. And I think you see it in this. I think if you put Michael and LeBron in this same situation, they play out differently. Now, obviously, Michael still gets them to the finals. They probably still have as much a chance as any to win it. But I think it's extraordinarily difficult as well in the sense that your teammates have to have this extreme trust in what you're doing. And I think to get a guy like J.R. Smith to buy in so well, and to get a guy like Kyrie, who had never played that level of defense, to become an extraordinarily positive and great defender, that takes a lot of trust. That takes a lot of leadership. And I think it takes a bond that a guy like LeBron has always shown. And it all comes from his unselfishness, his ability, his willingness to pass. And look, he always says that I'd rather pass the ball to my teammates and see them score than for me to drop any points. And it's absolutely true. It's a lot like Magic. It's a lot like what Magic played. But LeBron just has a different mentality to his game than Michael had. And there's nothing wrong with that. Clearly, Michael's results speak for themselves. But LeBron is just inherently different. Just everything that he does is different. And the situation he was placed in is different from anything Michael ever would have had to be put in. And I think that, at its core, it's LeBron. It's the way that he sees his role as a basketball player, as a giver, as making his teammates better. It's all on him. And we've seen him take big shots, making big shots against the Bulls. He had the game winner in the corner. He had the huge shot against Atlanta where Tristan Thompson pulls down the rebound, gives it to LeBron. LeBron knocks down the three-pointer. We see that whatever he is asked to do, he does. And it's difficult in this league to find a guy that talented who's so willing to make his teammates better. Now, when you go onto the other side with Golden State, it's the same story. Both of these groups, and it's part of the reason I think this is going to be such a great NBA Finals, both of these groups are so unselfish. It stems from the guys at the top, from the head coaches to the stars, Stephen Curry and LeBron. These groups are extremely unselfish. They're committed to moving the ball. They're committed to being in the right place on the defensive side of the basketball. They do all the things right, and they're both very likable. And I think really this is a situation where we can't lose. I think it's going to be competitive action throughout the series. I really think, depending on Kyrie's injury, this is going to be a long one, and this is just going to be filled with so much excitement because the way that both the teams play, they're fast, they play at a great tempo, they want to push that tempo dramatically, they can be extremely aggressive on the defensive side. They both are very good, and I think it's the speed. This is going to be a very fast series. Both teams are going to want to push each other, make each other play quickly, and that's one thing they both certainly can do. They can score quickly, they can hit you from many areas on the floor. It's going to be really exciting to see, and I think I'll get into the breaking down the actual matchup in between, but I think at first I definitely wanted to give some credit to Cleveland just because I think they've earned it. And for the city, I mean, look, the championship drought that they've been on is almost unimaginable. And I think LeBron getting them to the finals the first year is close to kind of getting a taste of it because, again, nothing was guaranteed in that letter. I don't think he could have been more clear, and I think he was right to say it's going to take time. Building this it's not going to be built overnight. It's hard to build chemistry like this. You've got a rookie head coach who's never coached a day of his life in the NBA. You have young guys like Kyrie Irving, guys who've never whiffed the playoffs, and they're in the NBA Finals. The task he accomplished is remarkable, and I think, like I've been saying and reiterating, it's as much a testament to his greatness, and it's something I'm not sure if there's another star who could have done this, but of course LeBron did, his 5th final in a row, and I think, look, we've got to talk, if Cleveland does win this NBA championship, where does that rank LeBron already? Now, I already have him right behind Michael. It's Michael and it's LeBron. It's Magic after that. You can kind of put the other guys you want after that. You want to put Russell. You want to put Will. You want to put Larry Bird. I don't care. You want to put Kobe. I don't care. But I think the top three, and I don't think there's any debate from me, and I think there's valid arguments that could be made for any of them, is Michael, LeBron, and Magic. I just think LeBron, if he wins a title here, that's equivalent of any other championship any of these other guys would have won. It's equivalent to Michael's, to the best record in NBA history, the 72-10, 96 Bulls when they beat the Supersonics. This championship would be equivalent to that because, like I said, Michael or Magic were never asked to be put in this spot where you're changing a losing culture. Overnight, they're changed from a team that was 97-215 in 4 years to the NBA Finals. And now, clearly, LeBron had help. Kyrie Irving was remarkable this year. He could hold his own against anybody in this league. But I think more than anything, it's a testament, and it's something that no one else, no other superstar has been asked to do and has done in 1 year's time, bringing them to the NBA Finals. And I really think you saw the 4 years he learned in Miami, he kind of still needed to learn to be the man. Now, obviously, he was always the man in Cleveland, but I don't know if he was always ready to accept he was the man, and I think that came to light more than anything in the 2011 NBA Finals where he just disappeared in the NBA Finals. Let's be honest, he disappeared. That's the one moment in his career where I think he's worthy of being criticized. But you know what he did? He learned from that. He won his first championship, he won another one, and he played his heart out in the one that they lost to the Spurs last summer. He learned what it took to be a leader and what it took to do the unthinkable, change a losing culture in 1 year's time and get back to the NBA Finals. To me, it's one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in the history of the NBA. And I think more than anything, it's what's going, if he does win a title this year without Kevin Love, with a half and half, not 100% Kyrie Irving, it will elevate him right. I will say if he wins this championship, you could put him over Michael if you wanted to. I'm not saying everybody's going to do it, and I'm not saying that it's going to be undisputable, but I'm saying to you that if you want it, I think you have justification. If he wins a title this year, changing a losing culture, 97-215 in the 4 years he's gone, you have justification to say that LeBron James is the best basketball player who ever played, and more than anything, it's about changing that culture. It's so difficult to do in professional sports, but that's enough on that one. Let's reshift. Gonna go into the Golden State Warriors, talk about their season, and then, of course, it's time for picks, it's time for predictions, it's time to break down the NBA playoffs, but just good thoughts on the Sports Vault. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.